that Sri Lanka is facing a multi-organ failure and a sepsis has set in. Economic crisis is just not stopping. Why this economic crisis is happening? What is the impact of the economic crisis on the people of the country? Can we say that this Sri Lankan economy can come back to its original form? Hi everyone, welcome to ABeta's YouTube channel. Today I am talking about one issue which is right now the global concern of one country, and definitely it is making the other countries talk about it, and that is the economic crisis of Sri Lanka. Now, before I talk about that, I would want each one of you to please like, subscribe and share as much as you can my YouTube channel of ABeta. Now, coming to the topic, the economic crisis of Sri Lanka. Well, I'm sure that many of you must have read about it in the newspapers, on the Google News, even in the news channels, or maybe you've even seen some video on YouTube as well. Now, this topic, why I'm calling it to be a global concern, because इस point पे जहाँ हम देखते हैं कि countries जो हैं सिर्फ development की हम बात कर रहे हैं, we don't see or hear much of a crisis thing happening. So when we are hearing stories, too many stories about different countries, and that too in context of development, so it is very important that if we are having glorifying stories about countries which are developing and are in the race like India, China, etc. So it is equally important to even understand in the present situation as to what is happening or what is the story behind countries who are now facing a situation of crisis. What is it that is leading to crisis? Why we are saying that this kind of economic crisis has been set in Sri Lanka right now? What is the possible reason? What, and if this is happening, what is the consequences? What exactly is the economic crisis we are talking about? What are its effects? And will this country, is it getting any kind of help? What is the country trying to do, its government trying to do to make sure they have an economic recovery? Are they doing something? Or what are the ways when we can say that this country, if would be able to come back in terms of its economic situation? So here I am going to ask you and talk about and discuss all these questions. Why this economic crisis is happening? What is the impact of the economic crisis on the people of the country? So right now I was saying that, we've heard long stories about the development of any country, how a country has developed over a span of time, over so many years. But it is very important that we do understand, we do talk and address a situation where a country is facing crisis. And this leads us to talk about the current economic crisis of Sri Lanka, which is a global concern. Now, to understand the economic crisis, firstly, what is an economic crisis? Which means the country's economy, it financially, in terms of its resources, it's not been able to function well. So why is it happening? Well, to understand why Sri Lanka is facing an economic crisis, it's very important to look at the multitude or the magnitude of its socio-political history. So everything is related. We must understand the root cause, the foundation, that what is it that has actually brought the country to this point right now. So the situation was that the country was under civil war since early 2009, and this civil war was going on against LTTE, and they were only able to break free out of that on 19th of May 2009. And at that time, when this freedom was achieved, so the people at that time, they were having a government, and that government was led by Mahinda Rajapakse. And Mahinda Rajapakse at that time, obviously imagine a country which was having a civil war and eventually it is now getting its freedom. So now the country, the government which was led by Mahinda Rajapakse, he decided that okay, now we need to have certain measures in place that just brings growth to our country, growth and strengthening of the country's economy. And for that, he implemented certain policies and measures that meant to stop the privatization process and to focus on those areas which can bring growth for the country, that is the non-trading sector. However, in the longer run, these policies, these measures have actually led to be a problem which we can see in terms of the economic crisis which Sri Lanka is facing right now. And with the start of the Russian-Ukraine war that is happening right now, this seemed to be as a nail in the coffin for the Sri Lankan economy and polity. Here, because of this war, we see that Sri Lanka is now facing so much difficulty in even having the basic essentials, the basic commodities that are required for a country. That is fuel, food stuff, the basic things that are required for a country to just move, for the country to go. And because of this war, Sri Lanka is not able to get the supplies. Plus, the forex reserves have been just not there. It just has exhausted, which means that Sri Lanka is not even having money, is not even having anything to actually buy any commodity from any other country. Even if I'm not getting supplies, I do have an option to go and purchase it from a country. But what if my forex reserves have exhausted? I don't have anything to pay. Then what? So this is why we are saying that this economic crisis is deepening, it's worsening. What is the situation? What is the impact? And impact could be seen everywhere. Many of them have even died because of the heat stroke. So the paper is not there in the country. And because of this, the Sri Lankan government have said that now the children are not going to have exams till an indefinite time period. Why indefinite time period? Because they are not sure when they are going to get the papers again. So this basic thing, food in terms of rice, fuel, petrol, your paper, these things are not there. And this has brought the Sri Lankan economy to be at a stop. It is not growing. It is facing a crisis situation. The money is not there. Like if I talk about rice, then yes, China has donated a few million tons to Sri Lanka. And from Myanmar, Sri Lanka has bought at a very inflated price the rice. So this is a problem. But again, no money is there. They don't know how to repay it. However, the central bank has agreed that okay, in return for tea, they can provide the stuff. So this is a crisis where even the basic things, the essential things are missing. The currency, the money is not there to buy it from any other country. And this has brought Sri Lankan economy to even worsen day by day. And as a result, like I told you, that China has donated few million tons of rice to Sri Lanka. Similarly, Sri Lankan government have been asking for help from their neighboring countries. They've taken credit limits or credit lines from countries like India. And they're asking for help from their neighboring countries. And to quote properly, it has been said that Sri Lanka is facing a multi-organ failure and a sepsis has set in. So this is a very big thing. This is because the economic crisis is just not stopping. It is deepening, it is worsening. So now it is very important to see that yes, it has taken credit limits from countries. Few countries are coming forward to donate something, to help it in some possible way. But can we say that this Sri Lankan economy can come back to its original form? Can it recover? How long will it take to recover? Well, these are the things we must follow to see what the government policies are, how this internationally, this economic crisis that is being faced by Sri Lanka gets covered. We see how they are trying to function. What are their ways? What are the different things that they do in the upcoming days to actually set things right? So children, we're just going to keep you updated here. And very soon I'll be talking about the other things that or the new developments that are shaping up regarding to this economic crisis of Sri Lanka. So for that, again, I would like you to please like, subscribe and share our ABeta YouTube channel. Until then, I wish you all the very best and thank you.